The Mountain and the Promise. Emma and Lily had been best friends since they were little. They both loved nature, and the mountains were their favourite place. They spent every free moment hiking, exploring, and dreaming about climbing the biggest mountain in their country. They promised each other that one day they would reach the top of that mountain together. Nothing could stop them. Growing up, they were always together. They helped each other with schoolwork, shared secrets, and spent hours talking about their future. Every weekend they hiked small hills and practiced for their big dream. They were strong, fast, and always motivated. They laughed as they climbed, and nothing seemed impossible. They often talked about how amazing it would be to stand at the top of the mountain, looking out at the world below. They imagined the beauty of the view, the cold wind in their faces, and the feeling of victory. This dream kept them motivated, and they trained every day. Every step they took together, and that made them feel even stronger. As they grew older, their training became more serious. They read books about climbing, studied maps of the mountain, and practiced with heavier backpacks. It was clear that they were working hard for this dream. The mountain was no longer just a fun idea, but a real goal that they were determined to achieve. One day, they decided to practice on a smaller mountain. It wasn't as big as their dream mountain, but it would be a good test. They packed their bags, put on their hiking boots, and set out early in the morning. The weather was perfect at first. The sun was shining, and the air was fresh. They were excited, ready for their adventure. As they climbed higher, the weather began to change. The wind picked up, and dark clouds covered the sky. Emma and Lily didn't worry at first. They had hiked in bad weather before, but they knew this was different. The rain began to pour down, and the path became slippery. The storm was stronger than they expected. It was harder to see, and they needed to find shelter. They quickly found a small cave to hide in. They stayed there for a while, waiting for the storm to pass. The rain kept falling, and the wind howled outside. It was getting late, and they knew they had to go back down the mountain, but when they tried to leave the cave, something went wrong. As they walked down, Emma lost her balance and slipped on the wet rocks. She fell and hurt her ankle badly. The storm was still raging outside, and Lily immediately knelt down beside Emma. She tried to help her up, but Emma winced in pain and couldn't stand. Lily felt a wave of panic. They were far up the mountain, and the weather was getting worse. Lily knew they had to get to safety, but she didn't know how she could carry Emma back down. It was a terrible situation, and Lily felt scared for the first time. Lily checked Emma's ankle carefully, but she couldn't tell how serious the injury was. It was swollen and hurt a lot. Lily tried to comfort her, telling her everything would be fine, but deep down she was afraid. She knew the mountain could be dangerous, and they weren't prepared for this. The storm was getting stronger, and they couldn't stay in the cave forever. Lily made a decision. She knew they had to get off the mountain quickly. She helped Emma to her feet, and they slowly started moving down the path. It was slow, difficult, and dangerous. Every step was hard. Lily supported Emma, but the rain made the rocks slippery, and the wind made it hard to see. They were both cold, wet, and scared. They had to keep moving. As they made their way down, the storm became even worse. Emma's ankle was still hurting, but she kept moving, trying to stay strong for Lily. Every time Emma stumbled, Lily was there to catch her. They were both determined to get to safety. The mountain, which once seemed so beautiful and exciting, now felt like a dangerous place. But Lily and Emma didn't give up. Finally, after what seemed like hours, they reached the bottom of the mountain. The storm was still strong, but at least they were safe from the dangerous path. They found a small shelter and rested there for a while. Emma's ankle was hurting badly, and they knew they needed help. Lily decided to go for help, leaving Emma behind in the shelter. Lily ran down to the village as fast as she could. She was exhausted and scared, but she knew she had to find help for Emma. When she finally reached the village, she found a doctor who agreed to come with her. They quickly returned to the shelter where Emma was waiting. The doctor helped Emma's ankle, but it was clear that she wouldn't be able to climb any mountains for a long time. The whole experience was a wake-up call for Lily. She realized that sometimes things don't go as planned. Sometimes even the best-laid plans can go wrong. And sometimes the people we love need our help, not just for their physical pain, but for their emotional pain as well. After the accident, Emma had to stay in bed for weeks. Her ankle was healing slowly, but the emotional toll was harder to bear. Lily spent every day by her side, helping her with everything. They talked about their dreams of climbing the mountain, but deep inside, Emma began to lose hope. She didn't know if she would ever climb again. The doctors told Emma that her ankle might not fully heal, and she couldn't walk well for a long time. This news hit her hard. She felt like she had lost a part of herself. Climbing was everything to her, and now it seemed impossible. Emma stopped smiling and became quiet. She spent most of her days staring out the window, watching the clouds pass by. Lily did her best to cheer her up, but it wasn't enough. Emma's spirit was broken. One day, after many weeks of trying to help, Lily realized that Emma needed more than just support. She needed time to heal, not just physically, but emotionally too. But Lily couldn't understand how hard it was for Emma. She had always been strong, always the one leading the way. As time went on, Lily continued to climb the smaller mountains by herself. She would often look back and remember the times when she and Emma would laugh and talk on their hikes. Those memories were painful, but they also kept her motivated. She couldn't stop climbing. She promised herself that she would reach the top of the big mountain for both of them. One cold, rainy night, as Lily was alone at home, she had a strange dream. In the dream, Emma appeared to her, smiling brightly. She looked healthy and strong, just like before. "Oh, you can't stop now," Emma said softly. "You have to keep going. Climb for both of us. I'm always with you." Lily woke up with tears in her eyes. It was the first time she had felt Emma's spirit since the accident. She knew Emma was telling her something important. She couldn't let Emma's dream die with her. Emma's message was clear. Lily had to keep going for both of them. The next morning Lily packed her bags, put on her hiking boots, and set off to climb the big mountain. The path was tough and long, but Lily felt stronger than she had in a long time. She knew Emma was with her in spirit, and that thought pushed her forward. It wasn't just about reaching the top anymore. It was about honouring the friendship they had and the promise they made to each other. Lily climbed higher and higher, each step reminding her of the times she and Emma spent on the trails together. The wind was cold and the air was thin, but Lily didn't stop. She felt a strong connection to Emma, as if her friend was right beside her, guiding her. Every time she got tired, she remembered Emma's words from the dream, "Climb for both of us." The mountain was tough, the path was steep, and the weather was unpredictable. Sometimes the sun would break through the clouds, and Lily would feel warmth on her face. But soon after, the cold winds would return, making her wish she could turn back. But turning back was not an option. She couldn't stop. Emma was counting on her. By the third day, Lily was exhausted. Her legs ached, and her mind began to play tricks on her. She would imagine Emma walking beside her, talking about the old days, laughing at their silly jokes. At times, Lily would almost feel like she was losing her balance, like she might fall. But then she would hear Emma's voice in her head. "You are strong. You can do this." Finally, after several more days of climbing, Lily reached the top. The view was breathtaking. She could see the whole valley below, the small village where she and Emma grew up, and the forests they used to explore. For a moment, Lily stood there, feeling the cold wind on her face, and she cried. She cried for Emma, for their lost dreams, and for the journey that had brought her here. But most of all, she cried for the strength she had found within herself. Lily sat down on a large rock at the top of the mountain, staring at the view in front of her. She whispered to the wind as if Emma could hear her. "We did it, Emma. We both did it. I know you are here with me." It was a moment of peace, a moment of closure. Lily realized that climbing the mountain was not just about achieving a goal. It was about the journey, the memories, and the strength that comes from love and friendship. Emma may have been physically gone, but she would always be with Lily in spirit, pushing her to go further, to be stronger. As Lily began her descent down the mountain, she felt a sense of calm. She knew Emma's spirit was with her, and that she had honoured their friendship in the best way possible. Lily smiled to herself, knowing that no matter where life took her, she would never forget the bond they shared, and she would always keep climbing, for both of them. Lily returned to her village with a heart full of peace. The mountain had changed her. It was no longer just about climbing to the top. It was about remembering Emma and everything they had shared. The village looked the same, but Lily felt different. She had faced her fears and doubts, and she had overcome them. Back home, Lily's family was waiting for her. They were proud of her, but they didn't fully understand what the climb had meant. For them, it was just another achievement. For Lily, it was a journey of healing. She had started the climb broken, unsure of herself, and unsure if she could move on without Emma. But now she felt whole again. Lily spent some time in the village, resting and reflecting on the past. She often sat by the river, thinking of Emma, remembering the times when they would sit there together, laughing and talking. Those memories were bittersweet, but they gave Lily strength. She had promised Emma that she would keep climbing, and now she knew she could. Months passed, and life began to return to normal. Lily started to train again, preparing for the next climb. This time she was not climbing to prove anything to anyone, not even to herself. She was climbing because it felt right. Emma's memory was always with her, guiding her forward, reminding her that every step was important, not just the destination. One day Lily was out hiking when she met a group of young climbers. They were talking about their dreams of reaching the top of a big mountain, and they seemed so excited. Lily smiled and listened to their plans, remembering how she had felt when she was younger. She knew that she had a responsibility now, to pass on the lessons she had learned to others. Lily became a mentor to these climbers. She taught them about the mountain, about the importance of patience, and about never giving up. She told them stories of her own journey, how she had climbed for Emma, and how the mountain had helped her heal. Every time she shared her story, she felt a little more connected to Emma. She felt as if her friend was still with her, cheering her on. As Lily trained the new climbers, she realized something important. She had learned not just about climbing, but about life. She had learned that no matter how hard things get, you can always move forward. You don't have to do it alone. Sometimes it's the people you love, even when they are gone, who push you to keep going. Lily's life was full now. She had Emma's memory in her heart, and she had new friends to share her passion for climbing with. The mountain was still there, calling her, but Lily no longer climbed just for herself. She climbed for everyone who needed inspiration, for every person who believed that they could not move on. She climbed for Emma, for herself, and for all the dreams yet to come. Years passed, and Lily continued to climb. She climbed mountains around the world, but none of them felt quite like the first one she had climbed for Emma. Every climb was different, but the lessons were always the same. She knew now that climbing was not just about the mountain or the achievement, it was about the journey and the people you meet along the way. One day, after many years of climbing, Lily stood at the base of a mountain. This mountain was taller than any she had ever climbed before. She looked up at its peak and felt a mix of excitement and fear. It was a challenge, but she knew she was ready. It was as if Emma's spirit was there, whispering to her, "You can do it." Lily took the first step, then the next, moving up the mountain with ease. Each step felt like a victory, each moment on the trail a memory of everything she had learned. She thought of Emma, of their adventures, of their laughter. It was as if Emma was still there, walking beside her, helping her when she needed it most. At the summit, as Lily reached the top, she paused to take in the view. The world stretched out before her, and she smiled. The climb had been tough, but she had made it. More importantly, she had made it for both of them. Emma was gone, but her memory had kept Lily going. She had honoured their friendship, and in doing so had found a new purpose in life. Lily stayed at the top for a long time, looking out over the land. She felt peaceful, knowing that Emma was with her in spirit. She spoke softly to the wind, just as she had before. "We did it, Emma. We both did it." As she descended the mountain, Lily felt a deep sense of gratitude. She realized that climbing was no longer just about conquering the peak. It was about living fully, facing your fears, and finding strength in the things that matter most. For Lily, climbing had become a way to honor the past, embrace the present, and look forward to the future. When she returned home, Lily knew that her journey was not over. There would always be new mountains to climb, both in the world and in her heart. But now, she was no longer climbing for herself. She was climbing for all the people she loved, for every lesson she had learned, and for the memory of her best friend Emma, who would always be with her. Lily shared her story with others, inspiring them to face their own challenges and to keep going, no matter how difficult life became. She taught them that strength is not just found in the body, but in the heart and in the memories of those we hold dear. And as long as there were mountains to climb, Lily would continue to rise, with Emma's spirit beside her every step of the way.